Here is my Premier League team of the season. Right, it's that time of the season where we can look back with it being finished and reflect on everything. I don't like to do my team of the seasons before the season is finished because still things can change on the last game. So let's look back at it and reflect on a season as a whole. In goal, I am going for Emi Martinez. Now, there's a few goalkeepers I could have picked. Really up there for me was your likes of David Raya, Bernd Leno, Jordan Pickford. But Emi Martinez, for me, has stood out massively. He's got over 7.2 XG prevented, whereas second best was Jordan Pickford with just over 4. So it just shows you how far ahead he was. And I know a lot of people talk about and think about the mistakes he made against Liverpool and the fact he conceded 5 against Crystal Palace. But look back at the season as a whole. Let's move away and shift away from this recency bias. Over 45 claims from crosses in the Premier League, which is the most this season. The third most actions outside of the box from any goalkeeper in the league, and that's because of that high line that Aston Villa have played. And I think he's been absolutely massive for Aston Villa this season as a whole. They've made Champions League football, which no one expected them to do, let's be honest, but they have been absolutely amazing, and he's been commanding, he's been colossal, and I think there's a massive difference when you see Olsen step in for Emi Martinez. Then you notice just how important this guy is for them. He has been absolutely amazing for Aston Villa and has been a real high level now, a high standard in world football, been one of the world's best keepers now for many years. But again, another great season from Emi Martinez. So he is my goalkeeper of the season in the Premier League. Now moving on to right back, we are going to go for Ben White. Now this is the highest goal scoring right back in the Premier League this season, which is absolutely mental when you think about it. Whereas you look back, Ben White last season was playing more defensively. He was playing a bit narrower, occasionally playing as a bit more inverted kind of into a back three at times when the ball went up down the other side. Whereas this season, I've seen him bomb on forwards. He's got 8 goal contributions this season, which is absolutely mental when you look at it. It's just like, Ben White, really? Is that who you'd have thought? No one expected it. He's got more goals than Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now, Trent was up there for me, but I don't think he's played enough this season. Obviously had a bit of an injury at times. Then other right backs, there aren't many that stand out for me. Maybe Pedro Porro, but not on the same level. I think Ben White has been absolutely amazing. All the things that we wanted him to improve on, and when looking at it as a whole, saying, could he become more offensively efficient? Could he help out Saka? And we've seen it massively this season. He's been part of one of the best back fours this season. He's been absolutely amazing. So right back for me has to be Ben White. Now onto the 2 centre-backs. Now, Van Dijk was one that kind of got thrown about and got mentioned, but I think I've got to go for William Saliba and Gabriel. The two of them have been absolutely colossal, been part of one of the best back fours in the league this season. Now, Tarkowski is another player that could have had a shout, maybe even Branthwaite. There's a lot of players that you could have mentioned, but those two for me have been absolutely amazing. They complement each other so nicely, kind of the bull and the gazelle kind of workers, and Saliba's probably the nicer on the eye, whereas then Gabriel is that bull, kind of that destroyer, and the two of them have been absolutely amazing in the Premier League this season for Arsenal. So those two slot straight in as my 2 centre-backs. Now on to left-back. Now, left-back for me was probably the most difficult position, if I'm honest. There hasn't really been many standouts. Like when you look at teams as a whole, there aren't many that really jump out at you. As that Zinchenko had a poor season. Then I look around, Udogie had a good season, but kind of tailed off towards the end and then had an injury as well. So as a whole, I can't really think of one other than Anthony Robertson. Now, Anthony Robertson, before you even jump at me, for Fulham has been absolutely amazing. The most chances created from any left-back this season, the most progressive passes from any left-back this season, the most final third passes from any left-back this season, the most successful crosses from any left-back, won more duels and possession than any other left-back. So it just shows you, not only can he do that going forward, he can also defend so well. He's got a total of 6 assists in the Premier League. And I think when you look at it as a whole, and when you apply context to it, he's playing in a struggling Fulham side in the bottom half of the table. To do all of that from left back just shows you how good this man has been. I think he's been absolutely electric this season. So Anthony Robertson is the best left back for me in the Premier League this season. Now, that is my back four done. Now we'll move on to the midfield 2. I'm going to go for Declan Rice alongside Rodri. Now, these two in a pivot would work so nicely. The two of them have been absolutely insane. They're kind of really easy shouts, let's be honest. Everyone knew those two were going to be picked in any team, and I think most people have got them in their team of the seasons, or even just nominated for the player of the seasons, because the two of them have been absolutely colossal this season for both teams, with Declan Rice with 15 goal contributions output in the Premier League, and Rodri with 16 goal contributions output, which is absolutely mental when you think these two have been playing a little bit deeper. I know Declan Rice has kind of gone off a little bit further forward, but same with Rodri. The two of them kind of players not really holding midfielders. They're more box to box, both of them, let's be honest. I know they kind of do cut about and defensively work, but because they've got such massive engines and they can't just keep going, they've been going on forward this season. So the two of them, for me, have been absolutely unreal. Now we're going to move on to the right-hand side. Now, Cole Palmer, for me, has been absolutely insane. Now, Bukayo Saka's had a great season, but I think Cole Palmer, I've got to talk about him. Cole Palmer, 33 goal contributions in the Premier League in his debut season at Chelsea, which is absolutely mental. Considering as well how much he has carried that side, it is insane. Only Harry Kane and Mbappe have got more goal contributions than this guy in Europe's top 5 leagues. That just shows you how good he has been. To do that in a struggling Chelsea side on his own, as I said, in his debut season, just shows the level that this guy is at. No one expected him to hit the heights that he already has done this season, let's be honest. We all knew there was a player in there because we saw it in glimpses at Manchester City, but to hit the levels he has done, become the leader he has done, it's absolutely mind-blowing. The guy is an absolute joke. He has got over 50... He's been involved in over 50% of Chelsea's goals this season, which just shows you again that how important this guy is for Chelsea, how much they rely on him. So yeah, Cole Palmer for me on that right-hand side. Then we'll move over onto the left-hand side. We have got Phil Foden. Now, this guy has been the man of the moment. This guy has been absolutely insane this season. Has just won PFA's Player of the Season and he's my Player of the Season. I think he's been absolutely crazy good. He's got 19 goals and 8 assists this season. This is the season where we all kind of looked at it as a whole. We saw De Bruyne going out injured and you thought, okay, now this is where we can really evaluate and really test and kind of decide how good this guy is, because he had to step up, and geez, he stepped up massively. As I said, 27 goal contributions this season. It is absolutely crazy, those numbers. And he has been the main man for Manchester City. In so many big games, he stood up and was counted for. You think about that game against Real Madrid. You think about the final game against West Ham. The fact it took him 79 seconds on the final game of the season to score the goal he has done and the wonder goal as well. It's absolutely class. The guy is an absolute joke. And only 23 years old, he can keep going. Like his ceiling, I don't even know where it is anymore. He could be one of the world's best if he really wants to, and if he keeps up this consistency. But he's been absolutely ridiculously good this season in that title winning side. So Phil Foden for me on that left hand side, because he has played there at times. Now into the 10 position. Now Martin Odegaard for me. Martin Odegaard has created the most shot creating actions, the second most progressive passes, the most passes into the penalty area, and has got 18 contributions in the Premier League this season, and the third most chances created. This just shows you what he can do. But what I also love about him is he's not your typical number 10. He's not like your likes of Maddison and your other players like that. He's got the highest passing accuracy with 84% out of all the creative passes, number 10s in the league. And you look at it as a whole, he kind of drops in everywhere. Everything goes through Martin Odegaard. He sets the tempo for this Arsenal team. He operates absolutely everywhere, taking the ball off the defenders. Then he's linking up with the strikers. He is everywhere. If you watch him, he's the trigger for the press as well. I think defensively he's been really strong, and offensively, this season he's been absolutely class. So those two are the two. That is the front three there for me. And then up top, now this is where it gets a little bit juicy. Now, this might be a little bit controversial. I haven't got Haaland in there. I know. And I haven't got Solanke as well. So my number 9 in my team is Ollie Watkins. Now, this guy has got 19 goals and got 13 assists. The most assists in the Premier League this season, and in Europe's top 5 leagues, only Harry Kane, Mbappe and Cole Palmer have got more goal contributions than this guy, which just shows you the level that he's been at this season. And no one expected him to go to this next level. Bearing in mind, Unai Emery has turned this guy into an absolute machine. He's turned him into a bit of a robot, let's be honest, because we saw him under Gerrard. He was pretty decent, and at Brentford, he was decent in the Championship, but no one expected him to go up to this level. And it's now he's at this level. We want to see him consistently be there, but he has been absolutely integral to everything that's been good about Aston Villa this season. His pressing, his running, and the fact that he's become a lot more clinical. Because the thing is, in previous seasons, that's where the question marks have been, including for myself. I didn't know whether he could cut it at this level because he kept missing some really big chances for Aston Villa, and there was a lot of people, including Aston Villa fans, who weren't happy with his output. But that is a feat in itself. 19 goals and 13 assists. It is absolutely mental. Looking at those numbers, and just if you saw that as a whole, you would say that guy is an elite level striker. And to be doing that in an Aston Villa team that really have broken into the top 4 this season and kind of been knocking on that door for a while, with especially as they were last season, breaking into the Europa Conference League. The fact that they've now stepped up again, he has been the main man. He's improved season on season. And under Unai Emery, this guy has become an absolute joke. So I'll run through my team again for you now, just so you understand. understand. In goal, I've got Emi Martinez, Ben White, right back, centre backs of William Saliba and Gabriel, left back Anthony Robertson, then a midfield two of Declan Rice and Rodri, and then I have got I've Cole Palmer on the right, number 10 Martin Odegaard on the left. I've got Phil Foden, and up top Ollie Watkins. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below of my Premier League team of the season for the 2023-2024 Premier League season, and what a season it has been. I'll be doing loads more videos reflecting on the season, but let me know any videos you want to see down in the comment section below. I'll still be uploading daily content, as I said I will be, non-stop, so don't you worry. But please do smash the like button and do subscribe for lots more content. Wow, what a season. Just looking back and even just discussing these names, it's been absolutely amazing, hasn't it, this season? It's a blessing that we get to watch such great football. But as I said, please do smash the like button. Please do subscribe. And I will see you tomorrow for some more daily football content. BucketHatSam over and out. Thank you. Goodbye.